The story now emanating from Xiamen, China, where the 9th annual BRICS summit is underway. The Prime Minister Modi and Xi Jinping addressed the plenary session of BRICS, where both leaders focused on broad issues but remained silent on the menace of terrorism. Modi highlighted need to eradicate poverty, strengthen health, sanitation, gender equality, praising the President Xi effort to promote people-to-people cooperation between BRICS nations. President Xi touched upon development and the need for all BRICS nations to speak in one voice. Modi was welcomed by the host with a warm handshake, and both countries will now take turn to page from the 70. Of course, now the focus would be on both countries after the 72-day-long standoff at Doklam, which got resolved only a few days ago. Now, in hours from now, Prime Minister Modi is expected to hold bilateral talks with Russian President Putin and Brazil's President Michel Temer. The Modi-Xi bilateral is up for tomorrow. All eyes would be on that.
Though we have different national conditions, we share the commitment to pursuing common development through partnership. This has enabled us to rise above differences and seek win-win results. As the world undergoes profound and complex changes, BRICS cooperation has become more important. Our people expect us to jointly boost development and improve their well-being. The international community expects us to make a contribution to world peace and common development. We need to stay focused on promoting results-oriented economic cooperation and expand converging interest in trade and investment, currency and finance, connectivity, sustainable development, innovation, and industrial cooperation. This year, we have formulated the BRICS Trade in Services Cooperation Roadmap. The outlines for BRICS investment facilitation, the BRICS e-commerce cooperation initiative, the BRICS action plan for innovation cooperation, and the action plan for deepening industrial cooperation among BRICS countries.
These are milestones of progress we can build upon. Looking ahead, it is important that our people remain at the center of our journey. I am happy to note that China has taken forward the people-to-people trust of our exchange from last year. Such intermingling will consolidate our links and deepen our understanding. BRICS countries can work closely with ISA to strengthen the solar energy agenda. Our 5 countries have complementary skills and strengths to promote use of renewable and solar energy. The NDP can also establish an effective link with ISA to support such cooperation. We would wish to see more clean energy funding, particularly in solar energy, from the NDP. Fourth, we are nations with large youth population. We need to mainstream our youth in our joint initiatives as far as possible.
All right, I want to connect directly to my colleague Geeta Mohan, who's joining me from Xiamen right now, as well as Mr. Rajiv Dogra, giving us a larger understanding on what we just witnessed. You know, Geeta, the issue of terrorism not once brought up by the Indian Prime Minister. One was hoping that even though without naming countries, he would bring up that issue. When is India going to raise the issue of terrorism?
Well, Preeti, we're just getting information from our sources that India did raise the issue of terrorism, and it was done separately. It was not a part of the speech. We do not really know whether it was part of India's intervention during the plenary session or in the restricted dialogue, the restricted meeting with the BRICS leadership. We will get the details, but for now, sources telling India today that the issue of terrorism was raised by India but was done separately. We do not really know whether it was done during the plenary session or during the restricted meeting, but certainly, Preeti, India did not forget to mention terrorism. It was just done tactfully and strategically, placing it where it best would be understood by all member countries, including keeping the sensitivity of the host country, China, in mind.
All right, so Geeta, okay, so where it comes down to diplomatically, yes, India has raised it. But let's go through what the Prime Minister said in his speech, that short speech at the plenary just a short while ago. Was he expected at all to touch upon the issue of terrorism?
When I started disbursing loans...
Geeta, can you hear me? All right.
Yes, Preeti.
All right, yes.
Could you repeat your question?
Yeah, Geeta, what I was saying was that the issue of terrorism was raised separately, but whereas perception goes, and that short speech at the plenary by the Indian Prime Minister, was he expected at all to raise the issue of terrorism?
Well, there are a few things over here. Now, one is the fact that in terms of the issue of terrorism, we did know that in his speech, or for that matter, there is going to be no mention of Pakistan, is what we had spelled out earlier as well. And in his speech, he focused on what the BRICS member nations particularly wanted to focus on this time around. But terrorism as a concern for India was raised separately, is what we're being told. And that's the big news coming in from Xiamen, Preeti. It is important to note that while India kept China's sensitivities in place, India did not forget about her own concerns, and that has to do with terrorism. It was raised separately by India, either at the plenary or the restricted meeting, but we will get details on how it was raised. Also, more importantly over here, sources telling India today, Preeti, that India's push for a very strong statement in the joint statement of the BRICS declaration, which we will be getting in some time from now, was a push from India, and is the reason why we will be seeing a very strong paragraph on terrorism at the push coming in from India. So on various levels, terrorism was not just raised, but India plays a very major role in ensuring that there is a very strong statement and a very strong paragraph on terrorism in the joint statement of the BRICS 2017 forum.
All right. Appreciate you joining us, Geeta, with that very latest coming in from the BRICS summit. So a tight diplomatic walk for India there. Well, it would all come down to the fact whether or not that strongly worded paragraph.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.